Next on the Food Nanny, we're in London, where I get to nosh on some chips, gab with the cabbies, and help the Harbour family rescue dinner. I bring the plan and they bring the spices. Dinner time for the Harbours is about to change. I'm Liz Edmonds. I'm the Food Nanny. As I raised 7 children, I learned that dinner time is the most important part of the day. It's the most natural setting to share the best of everyday life together. And when it works, it's La Vita Vera, the true life. But I know it's not easy. That's why I've made it my mission to help you rescue dinner time. And I'll travel the world to help families like yours find La Vita Vera and have the best of everyday life together. Ah, London, the city of true culinary diversity. From curry to stir-fry, you can find anything here. As for me, I'm craving something a little more traditional. Do you have a favorite fish and chips place?
This fish and chip shop's where all the taxi drivers go.
Yep, and we're all the cab drivers.
Perfect.
All right, and have a nice meal anyway.
Thank you.
Don't eat all the chips.
Oh, I won't. Thank you. One fish and chips, please. What is that you dipped it in first?
Rice flour.
Flour first, and then
Butter.
special recipe. so the batter is basically flour and water, and that's it. A special flour. Fish and chips have been around for centuries. It came about because the industrial working class needed a hot meal that was quick and portable. What an idea! Sprinkle with vinegar and some salt, wrap it in paper, and you have a delicious meal to go. Wow. Oh my goodness. The most beautiful fish and chips I have ever seen. Best I've ever had. That is so good. It melted. It was so hot it melted. When the Food Nanny returns, the Harbour boys are quick to impress with my pan-fried chicken tacos. But the real showstopper is this exotic dish. Welcome back to the Food Nanny. My favorite part about London so far is fish and chips, Buckingham Palace, Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, and fish and chips. Did I mention fish and chips? Let's just say London is my dream city. It looks so good. London is never short of diverse foods and cultures, so it's an exciting place to raise a family. But for Sean and Amrit Harbour, something is missing. They've invited me to visit them in their home, but I was surprised to find out their desire for a better dinner time came not only from the parents, but also from their 3 boys.
My name's Tom and I'm 11 years old. And I'm Brendan and I'm 8 years old. My name's Benjamin and I'm 7 years old. The best thing about my family is when we all are going to bed and we all have a big hug. I love to play curveball with Mummy, Daddy, Tom and Brendan and with all my friends. We should have dinner more often as a family, but we need to do our homework, tidy up, and we're not at home really. Usually Daddy is at work. When my dad comes home, we're usually in the middle of eating dinner. We all have it at different times. Me, Brendan, and Benjamin all have it at the same time. Mummy and Daddy have it at different times, usually when we're asleep. I don't really like that because I like having family dinners because it's really fun and it seems really peaceful. I really want to eat food together because it's really fun just having a chat because we usually don't get that during the day. We're missing spending time together.
Benjamin, Brendan, and Tom are young, but they already understand La Vita Vera, the true life. Everyone wants to experience the best of life. For centuries, people across the world have been gathering together for the main meal of the day. It provides a natural setting for good food, good conversation, and time to sit together. In Italy, they call this time la vita vera, the true life. In other words, they have the best of everyday life together. It's easy to let the best part of the day slip when your family has different schedules. Sean and Amrit know that in order to break this habit, they need all the help they can get.
I think the habit started not long after Brendan was born, because we used to eat together then, even when Tom was young. But I think when the new baby came along, suddenly things weren't synchronising. Amrit had to go and feed Brendan, or Tom going to nursery school, coming back being hungry, me getting back a bit later from work, and that's when the habit started.
I find it easier after when I've given the children their food, I can start clearing up.
When the kids are eating, we're using that time usually to do other things.
It got to that stage when I leave the children, they tend to bicker, argue.
OK, we've got a happy family. Other people have got a happy family, but I'm not content to have a happy family. I want to have a family that wants to be happier.
Sean has always said, come on, let's eat together, blah, blah, blah. And I say, yeah, afterwards, you know. So he actually suggested, let's get some help.
I love my family. That's the reason it's so important. And because I know from my own experiences in childhood just how powerful, when I look back now, at the time I didn't know. But now I look back and I can see how formative and key those moments were in my life of having family around.
Like Sean, I had family dinners growing up as well, and that helped me want to do it with my kids. But when I started to raise my own family, I needed more than a desire. I needed a plan. My 2-week meal plan has helped save countless dinner times. Waiting around until 4 or 5 o'clock every day to decide what to make for dinner is too late. It's always a recipe for disaster. You start by choosing a theme for each night. This is a great way to pick your meals, and it creates a consistency that everyone will look forward to. Then you can use a cookbook or look online to find recipes and fill in each night's menu. While you are doing that, you'll be creating your shopping list, which means you will only need one main grocery store visit every 2 weeks. When it comes to dinner time, planning is the key to stress-free, fabulous dinners. All Sean needs is a plan. Let's go rescue dinner.
Are we doing a match?
OK, Liz, come on through. Come and meet the boys. Boys, our nanny's arrived.
What better way to start off a new relationship than with a nice, warm meal? Amrit was at work, but as I got to know Sean, Tom, Benjamin, and Brendan, we made my crispy chicken tacos for lunch, and we all helped out. Well, I know England is not, as a whole, is not having dinner time together.
No, it's a big, big problem.
Yeah.
30 years ago, it was standard. Nowadays, it's very rare. When I was a child, we had family dinner, you know, basically every day. And it was such a great feeling, just sitting down together. You didn't sit there and think, oh, wow, it's family dinner time now. It was part of life. There was just a real sense of belonging when you were all together around the table and the conversation, talking about the day. It was just a lovely feeling, and I want that. I want that all the time.
That's going to be your chicken taco.
Got enough in your mouth there? Now, how does that taste?
Really?
When I first met the food nanny, I felt really weird because it was really strange that I was going to be on TV. But then the tacos were the best thing I ate today, and it was great. The food nanny was the best cooker in the world. It's got a lot of flavour in it, it has. And the chicken is, it's not plain. I think the tomato was kind of like spiced up a little.
So you would make it again?
Definitely.
While we ate, I talked with them about my 2-week meal plan. They seemed excited to try it out, with the stipulation that they could change one of the themes to their favorite type of food.
The idea that the food nanny put up was quite good, you know, because then we get to have quite a variety of foods, you know, pizza, comfort foods, and the Indian one. I like Indian food because it has lots of spices in.
When they mentioned Indian food, I was hooked. Sean and his oldest, Tom, agreed to teach me. This meal will be a nice surprise for Amrit when she gets home from work. Okay, I can't wait. let's get started.
OK. First of all, we're going to need to heat up some oil and butter.
About 1/3 cup.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fantastic. Thanks, Tom. Now, that's basically 2 tablespoons of butter. Then we're going to put in the onions. Now, I've used about 1½ large onions, chopped up, sliced. You can dice it. That gives a smoother texture and finish to the sauce, but I like it to feel like you've got some vegetables in there.
So when I go to an Indian restaurant,
Yeah.
what is this?
So a cross between 3 dishes, Rogan Josh, jalfrezi, and a madras, a chicken madras. But you can go to 2 Indian restaurants and order the same thing and get an almost totally different experience. Not just taste-wise, but in terms of consistency. One may have more vegetable content, another one may look like it's just been blended in a liquidizer and cooked that way. But I like to have the sight and the feel as you're eating, that texture that you've had vegetables that have been cooked.
Next, we take 1½ tablespoons minced ginger, 4 cloves of minced garlic, and 2 chopped up serrano peppers, seeds included, and mix that into the pan.
If you look at the onions there, we've got soft onions.
Yes.
OK, they're softening onions. But the brown bits in there are going to be the garlic and the ginger that are a little more toasted. Next bit of spice we're going to be putting in. This is a medium madras curry mix.
So about 2 tablespoons right now.
2 tablespoons, and then you can have... Basically, I'll have a look, have a smell, and see how it takes it up. You can see it starts to absorb the oil.
Yes.
Now we're going to put the tomatoes in.
And juice and all.
Yep. Lovely job. Now we've got here, there is 1½ cans of plum tomatoes in there, and they're chopped. And you've got to look at consistency. We're probably a little bit dry, so we can add either some more tomatoes or we can add a bit of water. And I'm going to add just a little more in the way of tomatoes.
Okay.
There we go. It's not so heavy.
It looks so good. Specialty dish right here. When the food nanny returns to make extra savory curry, we have to almost burn it. Sean says it's worth it, but it's trickier than it looks.
Is that a cut?
Welcome back to the Food Nanny. London is full of delicious surprises, including this curry. Sean and his family make a great team in the kitchen. We make the base in no time. One thing is certain when you're making curry, you have to know your spices.
Now, the spices that we're going to toast, we've got ½ teaspoon of mustard seeds and about ¼ teaspoon of carom seeds. These seeds, especially the carom seeds here, they've got a very, very strong citrusy kick, but with a slightly bitter edge, which is going to complement the flavour. So first of all, we're going to toast it. So we've got our oil in the pan already. We're just going to put the seeds in. Tom, do you want to jump in and do that for me?
How many times did you cook this before you got it right?
Quite a few times. I've got to the point where I cook it now. I mean, it was edible, it was tasty, but now I can do it in a way where I know it's going to knock people's socks off. Now that we're toasting those, they're coming along nicely. They'll be browning slightly. You won't notice the browning that much because they're so tiny, but you're looking at about between 3 to 5 minutes on a low heat just to toast those. Now, we've also got some garam masala. Garam masala is a mixture of different spices. You've got cinnamon in there, nutmeg. So your milder spices, they're not the spices with the kick.
We're going to add it to this?
Yep.
And if you didn't toast the carom seeds and the mustard seeds, you would not bring the flavor out.
No, you don't get the same flavour.
Next, we split the curry, meaning we move half of the tomato onion base into our pan with the toasted seeds. We add 1/2 cup of water and turn up the heat. So did you figure out that this was the base, or, I mean, this was what you were taught?
I used to do one curry all the time, that one there, with chicken. That was
it?
That was it. But then what I discovered was that was actually the base you could divide up and use for dozens of different curries. So
this is sort of your take on it?
Yeah. We've got some lime zest here that I've grated, and that's going to give a very, very strong lime flavour. Again, because it's zest, it's going to be slightly bitter, but what we're going to do later is use lime juice, and that will complement it.
Mummy and Daddy both cook, but Dad cooks in the holidays and Mum cooks during the school time. The food nanny told us to help prepare the dinner, you know, so it gets done a lot quicker.
And we stir that in. Thank you, Chef Tom. We're going to add raw king prawns. Okay, and we put a little bit of a slash in the back there, so they kind of open out. So you get like a half of a butterfly.
We don't want to cook these over 2 to 3 minutes, do we?
We're looking about initially 2 to 3 minutes, then we're going to cover them and leave them on a very, very low heat. Now we're going to turn our attention to the remainder of the base sauce that we've got. We're going to be looking to almost burn it.
It's a fine line.
Very fine line. It's like you're scorching it, and just before it's going to get to the point of burning, then we're going to be scraping off madly, OK? And what that does, it just gives the opportunity for a real rich gravy to start forming, which transforms the flavour.
It's so
It can't be far off now, he's thinking. Now, can you hear, as you move like that, the noise?
Yes.
That's when you know when you're starting to get that burn is nearly there. We're going to take it even further than this, but look around the sides.
Yeah.
You're starting to get the burn around the sides. Right, we're going to put just a touch of water in there, just a little bit. And I think we might even move it to the bigger ring, just to get more heat kicking out there.
Okay.
There we go, and that's a bigger flame. That really is going to start to heat this up.
How much more time do you think it takes?
Do you know what? It puts about 15 to 20 minutes on the cooking time. So you're looking at it probably, you know, adding another 50% of the time onto your cooking, but for the flavour, I think it's worth it.
Yes. So that's what you want?
Yeah.
You want?
Little bits of, you know, it's not quite, but you can see it's like almost like when you've...
Scorch something,
Yeah.
almost,
Yeah.
but not really, right.
But it won't come out and the taste is burnt, that's the
Right.
thing. It just adds to the whole texture and flavour. And see, now where we've got, when I'm giving a swoop and stuff is following as well, you know, it's almost like you've got one mass.
Okay.
That's when you're going to need to just maybe one more burn and then add a little bit more water.
Oh.
To give it that,
Uh-oh.
Is that a cut? This could be a right pain in the butt now, because silencing these things.
In the meantime, the city is a bustle with a lot of people heading home from work. Some of them will go home to more hurried activities, and some of them will go home to a nice, warm dinner.
I know that it was really good when I was a little child having dinner together, where we were able to sit and laugh and to have that kind of bond. I realise it's important for the boys, especially boys, because they, you know, don't tend to share feelings and what's on their thoughts and things like that. And Sean and I have said so many times that we need to sit together, and so that the children can interact and listen and just to enjoy each other's company. So hopefully it'll carry on as they grow up.
As Amrit has high hopes for their family's future dinner time, we have high hopes for tonight's curry. And now for some finishing touches.
Because we're getting to that point now where I think we've done enough of the scorching,
Okay.
we're going to add some water to make it saucy again, and then we're going to put the chicken in, and then we're just going to bring that to the boil very quickly, cover it, turn the heat off, and then the chicken will just cook, really slowly. It'll be very, very tender. Look at the consistency. If it looks like it's too thick and too stodgy, put a little bit more water in. I'm looking at that thinking, we don't need a lot more, but maybe just another, literally maybe a quarter or even 1/8 of a cup.
Tom, what do you think about this chicken curry?
I think it looks quite good because the curry gets in with the chicken, so the chicken tastes curry-like.
You like the taste?
Yeah.
What does it remind you of?
I don't know, to be honest. It reminds me of my nana's cooking, really, because she's Indian, so she does it. When we go around there, she cooks lots of Indian food, so I can eat it there.
Could you do the honours, Liz, and pop the top on there? Fantastic.
Yeah.
Go for it, and that's it. And then we'll just turn that off. And what will happen is the residual heat that's in the pan will cook the chicken, and you will have delicious, tender chicken breast. That's it.
That's it.
Now, the finishing touches for the prawn curry. At the moment, it's slightly paler than the other curry, but the taste will be just remarkably different. So what we're going to do now, we're going to add some lime juice, we're going to add some sour cream, and we're going to add some cilantro.
I love it fresh.
Yeah, it's great. It just gives
Fresh.
such a fantastic flavour. So, Tom, could you pop in the cilantro for us? Now, we're going to put about half of that in, so we've got about half a cup of chopped cilantro leaves, and that's just a really good flavour enhancer as well. It's my favourite herb.
I
by
love it. Is it?
Country Mile.
Is it your
Oh,
favourite?
yeah, because it's so versatile.
Oh,
And
it
also, I mean, I
is.
use the seeds as well. We're going to get some sour cream just to finish it off, and then that will be completely done and
Oh,
dusted.
it looks delicious.
Look at that. Now, that's just going to take it a nice, pale, colour.
And make it more creamy.
Yeah, it's so rich and smooth when you've got some cream in there. And then all that sour cream, mix that in. You can use yoghurt. We often use yoghurt. Yoghurt's a little lighter. It's not so heavy.
Oh, that looks so good.
There we go. And
It looks so good.
Right, and that's ready to, we can just serve that into a bowl.
With just a little teamwork and effort, Sean and the boys had everything set up so that when Emmerich came home, they could enjoy the best part of the day together.
Yes.
Okay, who'd like to bless the food? Brendan? Can I ask you, Tom? Oh, we've got a battle for it. Who's going for it? I'll go then, Tom. Thank you.
Dear Heavenly Father, thanks that we can food and
Well, at dinner time, it's just so nice, as with the nanny when she was sitting with us, we all chatted together. I think meal times is quite important, where people tend to feel free and just to put their guards down, you know, and just to feel relaxed.
While they're eating, I tend to tidy up. And so I just want to rush things, you know.
Mum, what you can do is we can all tidy up together, then have dinner, then tidy up, and you know.
See, we can try that then, can't we? Yeah.
The food nanny told us to help Mum with the tidying up so that we can spend more time eating as a family together.
The children can interact in terms of helping to do the dishes, helping to serve. You know, I actually didn't think about doing that. I just thought about me, that I will clear everything and it will be all done.
It seems like you work together so well as a family. You seem very united.
Yeah, that really
The
is.
good thing was, and what we'll have a chat about later, is what Liz was saying, her mealtime plan. So you plan for all the meals for the week. So there's different nights. So Monday night is comfort food night. That doesn't just mean chocolate cake, I'm afraid.
Thanks, Sean.
And then Tuesday is
Italian. / Mexican.
Yeah. And then Wednesday we're looking at, is that our Indian night we're thinking of?
Yes.
Or is it-
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the hardest part about dinner is trying to figure out what to cook. So that's why I have the theme nights.
Brilliant. That sounds really good,
Really
though,
good.
Sean. Yeah?
Yeah.
I would like to try that for definite.
Would you?
And I think it will work.
This is so delicious.
Oh, good.
My funniest thing today was probably when the smoke alarm went off.
And you burnt onions or garlic or something like that?
Yeah,
What
I
was
think
it?
that was when we were scorching the curry. We were
Yeah, that's
intentionally,
right.
we were intentionally burning it. Thank you.
We love each other, we have fun, we have an understanding that we can talk to one another. And usually it is during meal times, and that's maybe the only time where you can actually be together as a family at home, in the home.
Have you got a joke, Brendan?
Don't ask Benjamin.
Right, it's a nice joke, isn't it? And a real joke. Not like, knock knock, who's there, chair who, ha ha, banana head. Yeah?
I'm not
Go on
Doctor Who. Everybody knows me.
Yeah?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
I thought you know me. It was great, it was good, I loved it because we just had great laughs.
Rather than just say, we've reached happy, that's it guys, we're there. Meal times, I think, would just take that to another level. You know, we're looking at a different dimension here that I think would really just be, well, more than just the cherry on the cake. I think that this is a way that we can make our family happier.
Dinner rescued. Even the after-dinner chores can be fun, as long as you're all together. 4 months later, the Harbors wrote me a letter saying, "We are still eating dinner together as a family on a regular basis. The biggest difference has been the length of time we spend talking, even after the food is finished. Like Sean and many others have discovered, dinner is the most important part of the day. See you at dinner."
I never have disagreements with Mummy and Daddy
How come?
because I'll probably get told off, that's why.